What if the Egyptians had modern technology when they built the pyramids? A timeless mystery gets a tech upgrade. We've all seen the pyramids. Giant triangles of mystery, built thousands of years ago with no cranes, no forklifts, no GPS, and definitely no coffee. Just bare hands, stone tools, and an almost supernatural willpower. They moved 2.3 million limestone blocks. Some weighed as much as an elephant doing squats. And to this day, we still don't know exactly how they pulled it off. But let's not dwell in mystery. But what if we change the rules? What if the ancient Egyptians had access to today's modern technology? Crane, AI, solar power, CAD software, drones, and even TikTok. Would the pyramids have been bigger, faster, with more LED lights? Would they have finished the pyramids in months instead of decades? Would they have built them even bigger, or maybe added air conditioning? More importantly, what would it have meant for Egyptian society, their culture, and maybe even the entire course of human history? Today, we dive deep into a thought experiment that mashes up ancient wonder with modern tech. This is History Remix. Let's plug in the USB of imagination and reboot the past. The real pyramid build. Before we bring the robots and satellites into the equation, let's respect the original masterpiece. The Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world, was built around 2560 BC for Pharaoh Khufu. It was constructed using an estimated 2.3 million limestone and granite blocks. Some of these blocks weighed up to 80 tons. That's the weight of about 10 elephants. Now picture moving that with nothing more than ropes, wood, sweat, and lots of shouting. They didn't have wheels. Iron tools? Nope. Just copper chisels, sleds, levers, and a whole lot of ingenuity. Most historians estimate it took about 20 to 30 years to build. And contrary to popular myths, the builders weren't slaves. They were skilled laborers, likely rotating crews of thousands, fed with bread, beer, and onions, the ancient fuel of the working class. But even with all the archaeology and research, we still don't fully know how they pulled it off. Some say they used straight ramps. Others say spiral ramps. A few even say internal corkscrew-shaped passageways. And yes, there's always that one guy who swears it was aliens. But instead of aliens, let's give them something even more powerful: the internet. Dropping tech into 2600 BC. Let's warp time. Imagine waking up in 2600 BC and opening your iPhone. Pharaoh Khufu is in charge. Instead of priests and scribes, he's got an IT department and a logistics team from Amazon Prime. Let's say they now have access to 3D modeling and CAD software, GPS and drones, cranes, bulldozers, and concrete mixers, solar power and electric grids, artificial intelligence for project planning, medical advancements, digital record keeping, YouTube tutorials on how to pyramid like a pro. With just the press of a button, Pharaoh's pyramid dream becomes a hyper-engineered, resource-optimized mega-project. Phase 1. Planning with precision. Step 1 in any mega-project today? Planning. The architects fire up AutoCAD. A sleek 3D model of the pyramid rises on screen. Every measurement is down to the micrometer. Alignment with the stars? Still there, only now confirmed by satellite. They simulate construction logistics using AI. The software optimizes worker schedules, crane placement, material transport routes, energy consumption. No guesswork, no trial and error, just big data. Phase 2. Let the machines roll. Next comes the actual build. And here's where things change dramatically. Enter crawler. Cranes lifting stones like toy blocks, bulldozers clearing paths, conveyor belts, moving materials, prefab stone cutting with laser precision, drones monitoring site, progress in real time. Instead of 20 years, the Great Pyramid could be built in under 2. One guy insists on moving blocks by hand. Tradition, he says. The others roll their eyes, sipping coffee from the break room. And no one dies from dehydration or stone falls, thanks to hard hats, steel-toed boots, and first aid stations. Phase 3. The Smart Pyramid. Features include LED-lit passageways, voice-controlled tomb doors, climate control to preserve the pharaoh's body, surveillance cameras, for ghost security. There's a built-in museum for tourists. Holograms explain the significance of each chamber. Sarcophagus glows with underlighting. Instagram ready. The ripple effect on Egyptian society. But here's the twist. When you upgrade pyramid building, you change everything. Fewer workers equals fewer injuries. Time saved equals more time for innovation. Infrastructure booms, highways, plumbing, maybe even a pyramid-shaped mall. Modern tech doesn't just affect the pyramid, it changes Egypt itself. Roads are paved. Power grids span across the Nile. Digital education trains architects and engineers. Workers don't just build, they innovate. With increased leisure time and wealth, art and science boom. Maybe they invent calculus early. Maybe they launch satellites. Egypt becomes a global tech hub. The Library of Alexandria? Now it's a digital megacloud. Cultural consequences. But here's the deeper question. How does tech affect belief? In the real timeline, Egyptians had a profound focus on the afterlife. Their tech served their theology. But now, medicine extends life. Would technology change their beliefs? With modern medicine, fewer people die young. Would the afterlife lose its urgency? People don't fear death as much. Would pharaohs be seen as less divine and more like billionaires with drones? Does the culture of worship shift to knowledge? To science? Alternate history explodes. With this head start, Egypt isn't just a kingdom, it's a superpower. Steam engines by 1000 BC, aircraft by 500 BC, global exploration centuries before Columbus? Invent democracy before the Greeks? Do they colonize the Mediterranean? Rome, Greece, Mesopotamia? They're suddenly trying to catch up. The balance of power shifts. Entire religions, philosophies, and empires evolve differently. Create the world's first social media app. Back to reality. Let's unplug the simulation. The real pyramids weren't built with tech. They were built with determination, genius, and raw human will. That's what makes them a wonder. Not just of architecture, but of the human spirit. Modern tech could have made them easier. But would it make them more miraculous? So, what if Egyptians had modern tech? We'd have insta-pyramids, drone hieroglyphs, and maybe pyramids on Mars. Or we'd all be ruled by Wi-Fi Pharaoh 2.0. What do you think? Would it be an ancient utopia or a tech-powered tyranny? Drop your thoughts below. And if you liked the trip through this twisted timeline, hit like, subscribe for more History Remix, and remember, never trust a time-traveling 3D printer.